tomorrow people are going to be saying all the things that they said after your previous defeat.
We can't worry about what people say. It's about how you see yourself.
At this point, you have to try and take any positives you can, and it's difficult because the start was disastrous.
I know my boundaries.
Just in, the heat behind Anthony Joshua snaps after Jake Paul quits the fight. Anthony Joshua is basically reminding Jake that he was out there earning his place while Jake was playing around. And now he's warning Jake straight up that he sees him as a complete joke, a piece of trouble waiting to be crushed.
I've been that guy. While you was at home doing this, I was in the club.
Eddie Hearn calling the pullout ludicrous shows how chaotic this situation already is. Netflix, MVP, everyone invested big, and now the pressure is piling on Jake Paul. So many voices are saying he can't pull out like this, not after all that money and hype, and that's the only reason he's suddenly pretending he's still in the fight.
To pull out with all the money that's been spent and for squeaky bum time is not the way forward. And I think Jake Paul's game.
Johnny Nelson sounding this alarm proves how deep the mess goes. When he says there needs to be an inquiry, it shows people are not buying Jake Paul's story at all. Everyone feels something is off, and that Jake is hiding behind excuses again. Anthony Joshua stayed ready, trained hard, and prepared for war, while Jake caused chaos the moment the pressure hit him. And now, fans want answers, not excuses.
Unfortunately, there is going to be there needs to be an inquiry straight after this. Why, what? But that's what I'm hearing. The news is as fresh to me as it is you. I'm quite sure when this goes out, it'll be all over the place.
Chael Sonnen making it clear that the size difference alone turns this into a nightmare for Jake Paul. Anthony Joshua has never walked into a fight with this kind of physical advantage, and Chael knows what that means. The only thing that would look real is Anthony Joshua walking Jake down and smashing him. And that is exactly what Jake feared before all this pull-out talk started. He saw the danger, and he panicked.
The size discrepancy, Joshua's never enjoyed a size benefit like he has going into the fight with Jake Paul. And the only thing about it that could be real or look real or sound real is if he goes out and he plans and he threatens and he does the best of his ability.
Tom Little's words hit the core of the issue. He admits Jake Paul can fight a bit, but when the real test comes, he believes Jake will quit. And with everything happening, it feels like that moment already arrived. Anthony Joshua is a different world compared to Jake's usual opponents, and Tom calling out the possibility of a quit only makes Jake's hesitation look even more real. The truth is, Jake was never built for someone like Anthony Joshua.
See if he's a real. I'm not saying he can't fight. I'm not saying he's rubbish. I'm not saying he's useless. But we will see how good he is. And if I'm right in what I'm saying, he'll quit.
Hearing Jake Paul admit he is a little scared says everything. He knows Anthony Joshua is a knockout artist with real heavyweight power, not YouTuber-level sparring. Jake mentioning Usyk, Klitschko, and Ruiz shows he realizes he has stepped into a world he does not belong in. And that fear is exactly why all this pull-out drama started. Deep down, Jake understands Anthony Joshua is too much for him.
Artists with fights that have literally ended in seconds. He fought legends: Klitschko, Usyk, Ruiz, Ngannou.
Biggest shot I have seen live.
Not gonna lie.
Johnny Nelson being surprised shows how far Jake Paul has fallen in public eyes. He expected better behavior, yet Jake went and created a mess that now looks planned. Something clearly rattled Jake, something behind the scenes that pushed him to act like this. And the timing makes it obvious. Anthony Joshua's presence alone was enough to make Jake rethink the whole fight. Instead of stepping up, Jake stepped back.
You know, like we don't know, but that really, really rattled him for him to think and plan doing something like that.
Yeah, because we see things happen.
Eddie Hearn saying Jake Paul is stubborn shows why this whole situation exploded. Jake does not understand the scale of business behind a fight with Anthony Joshua, and he acted without thinking. Eddie making it clear they are not playing around shows how serious this event was for everyone but Jake. Anthony Joshua stayed professional from day one. Jake turned it into drama the moment things became real.
Even he's stubborn and he doesn't understand what the business means to us. So, again, this is not something that we do often, but we're not fucking around.
Joe Rogan calling this a dangerous fight shows how real the threat is. He knows Anthony Joshua does not just win fights, he makes examples out of people. What he did to Francis Ngannou is still one of the scariest moments in recent heavyweight history, and Jake Paul walking into that kind of power was never going to end well. When Rogan asks, "Do you want that smoke?" he already knows Jake does not. Jake saw the clips, heard the warnings, and felt the danger long before any pull-out talk started. Anthony Joshua brings real knockout energy that Jake has never experienced in his life.
Dangerous fight.
Yeah.
Because Joshua's going to try to make an example out of him, for sure.
And will.
I mean, Anthony Joshua is one of the biggest one-punch KO artists. What he did to Francis Ngannou, good lord.
Yes.
Do you want that smoke?
Alexander Usyk saying we need to pray for Jake Paul tells you everything about the mismatch. When a man who beat Anthony Joshua twice is warning Jake about danger, you know the levels are too far apart. Usyk knows Anthony Joshua can destroy Jake whenever he feels like it. And he was not joking when he said Anthony Joshua will kill this guy if he wants. The fact that Usyk said he will pray for Jake shows he does not believe Jake is ready at all. Jake heard all this, and that fear only pushed him further into panic mode. Anthony Joshua stands in a different universe compared to him.
That's true. It's business, more money. Only this.
So we need to pray for Jake Paul.
Yes. I will pray Jake Paul because I want fight with Jake Paul. And
Frank Warren calling this a car crash paints the exact picture fans already see. The entire world knows this fight is pure chaos, and people are only watching to see how badly it goes for Jake Paul. Frank openly questioning, can he do it or not, shows there is no confidence in Jake at all. This matchup is not competitive. It is a spectacle built on Jake trying to swim in heavyweight waters he was never meant to enter. Anthony Joshua is the car, and Jake is the wall, and everyone knows how that ends. Jake felt that reality and began pulling back before impact.
Can he do it or not? This is a car crash, and people will watch it because that's what people do at car crashes, and that's what this is.
Carl Froch breaking it down so simply makes the whole situation look silly. Jake Paul has never fought a heavyweight in his life, and he lost to Tommy Fury, a cruiserweight who is not even British level. Now, put that next to Anthony Joshua, a big punching heavyweight with real championship pedigree. Froch is right. No one can take this matchup serious because the skill and size gap is too big. Jake built his confidence beating mid-level names, but this is a monster step up. And hearing Froch dismiss him as fake Paul only adds more pressure Jake could not handle.
AJ's a big punching heavyweight, and fake Paul's never been in with a heavyweight. Like I said earlier, he lost to Tommy Fury, a cruiserweight. He lost to him. Tommy Fury's not even British level, so you can't chuck fake Paul in with Anthony Joshua and take it serious.
David Hayes saying Jake Paul is only 15 to 20% compared to Anthony Joshua shows just how far apart these two worlds are. Anthony Joshua is built like a true heavyweight specimen with size, power, and technique that Jake simply cannot match. Hay has fought monsters in his career, so when he says the difference is massive, it carries weight. And he is right. The moment they stand next to each other, Jake's confidence will drain instantly. That size gap alone is enough to break someone mentally. Jake saw all these warnings, and that is why his behavior became shaky when the fight got close.
Jake Paul can come 15-20% in regards to Anthony Joshua. He's a completely different specimen. Look, you'll see what it looks like when they stand next to him.
Carl Froch is laying it out so clearly. Anthony Joshua, even past his peak, is a different level. Precise, powerful, and ruthless. Fake Paul has never faced someone like him, and losing to Tommy Fury proves he is not ready for this. The pressure is crushing Jake Paul, and everyone watching knows it. Anthony Joshua's skill, distance, and punching power make this look like a one-round nightmare for Jake Paul. Carl Froch calling him out exposes all the weaknesses that Jake tried to hide, and that is why the pull-out chatter started. Anthony Joshua is ready, Jake Paul is panicking, and the world sees it.
When he touches him for the first time with a pair of 10-ounce gloves on, he's going to get the fright of his life. That's me, son, mate. Don't worry about it.
Tony Bellew is making it clear that Jake Paul might have some talent, but Anthony Joshua is on another planet. The warning in his words shows how easy it is to underestimate a fighter like Anthony Joshua, and how deadly it becomes when someone like Jake Paul steps in thinking he can handle it. Everyone watching knows the truth, that Jake Paul is nowhere near prepared for a real heavyweight. The fear and hesitation in Jake's actions are obvious. Anthony Joshua has faced the best, and this is a whole different level. Jake Paul's panic is starting to show as every expert highlights how outclassed he is before even stepping into the ring.
I actually believe he's better than what people think he is.
He is better than people think he is, but doesn't mean you can take on the former unified heavyweight champion of the world. I know some white-collar fighters who are really good, but you ain't getting in with me, and I'm 42. I'll take your whiskers off your chin.
Derek Chisora calling this an easy fight for Anthony Joshua sums up the reality. Jake Paul is completely out of his depth, and even the thought of trying to stand with Anthony Joshua looks absurd. The pull-out talk started because Jake Paul realized the danger he is in. Chisora saying Anthony Joshua will smoke him shows just how one-sided this looks. Everyone around the sport knows that this is not a fair fight. Anthony Joshua's reputation, power, and ring IQ are a nightmare scenario for Jake Paul, and the panic is visible. The entire scene screams that Jake Paul cannot run from this anymore.
Easy fight for him. And I think this should be laid to rest, because I don't think AJ's going to go in and try and pat. AJ's going to smoke him.
Logan Paul is putting the spotlight on the huge gap between the brothers and Anthony Joshua. Calling him perfect and like a sculpted gladiator shows just how intimidating Anthony Joshua is. The contrast is brutal, and the pressure on Jake Paul grows with every word. Standing next to Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul's confidence disappears. This is why the pull-out drama started and why everyone in the boxing world sees him panicking. Anthony Joshua is a former champion with real knockout power, experience, and skill that Jake Paul has never faced before. The fight is a nightmare scenario, and Jake knows it.
Experience difference, Anthony Joshua is a former heavyweight champion who's knocked out heavyweight champions.
Has he ever tried like Ozempic or Manjaro?
This is a guy who is already perfect.
Okay.
He's perfect.
Okay.
He's like, if you could sculpt like a perfect gladiator human being, it's Anthony Joshua.
Adam Smith breaking it down shows Anthony Joshua's dominance and the choice he has in this fight. Jake Paul cannot match him in any way, and the worry is only how Anthony Joshua will manage the rounds. Being inactive for 14 months does not matter because Anthony Joshua's skill and power do not fade like others. Jake Paul is forced into a situation he cannot control, and everyone around the fight knows it. This is why he is panicking and why the pull-out chatter erupted. Anthony Joshua could end this whenever he wants, and Jake Paul has no answer for that reality.
happens. AJ should win whenever he wants to win. But will he want to win early? Will he want to get some rounds in, being inactive for 14 months to prepare him for 2026?
Everything points to the same truth. Anthony Joshua is on another level, and Jake Paul is in way over his head. All the experts, legends, and even his own brother have made it clear that Jake Paul is not ready for someone of Anthony Joshua's size, skill, and knockout power. The pullout drama, the excuses, and the fear visible in every quip show that Jake Paul knows he cannot handle what is coming. Anthony Joshua trained hard, stayed focused, and has been ready from day one, while Jake Paul tried to run from the pressure. If Anthony Joshua wins, it will be a brutal reminder of why experience and true heavyweight skill matter. If somehow Jake Paul shocks the world, it will be one of the greatest upsets in boxing history. But everything so far shows he is already beaten mentally before the fight even begins. Are you backing Anthony Joshua, or do you think Jake Paul can pull the impossible? Drop your thoughts below.